Sup YouTube, this is, as you can tell by this, my lovely map, Thunderwolf89. As I said in the last video, this is the deck profile on Grandsoil Psychics. I played it last weekend, went X2 in Swiss, and then lost in top 8 because I was a derp. But yeah, this deck, as I can see, is pretty good. What I've learned from playing it is I have to be more aggressive when I can be more aggressive, because you can swarm the field very quickly, very fat, and very hard as well. Get down to the deck profile. I got as standard, since it's Grandsoil Psychic, you have 3 Grandsoil. Amazing, monster reborn in the body. It's broke. Well, not broke, but really good. And basically the deck isn't trap heavy, so I have to protect myself from OTKs, 2 Trag and 1 Gores. Both can win games on their own, which is pretty good. Then I have the hand traps, 2 Maxi, Earth, easily ditchable to put a 5th Earth in your grave, and helps you draw into your Tragodia Gores under an OTK, and Veiler to help stop effects that are bothering you. Like, I can't think of anything at the moment, but yeah, like Shockmaster, for instance. Before they can lock out before they can detach and call monsters, stop basically Vader. But yeah, 2 of each. Deck space is tight for 3 of each, so I put 2 of each and then 1 of each in the deck side deck. Next we have Psychic Pirates. Psychic Wizard, amazing 19 beat stick. When summoned, if you can get its effect, when summoned, banish a psychic monster in your grave. You can banish a psychic monster in your grave. So, and then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can special summon it back. So basically, say you're against a Thunder King Ryo and you have another one in the grave, you just summon, banish this one, ram, and then you bring back the other one. So basically, they lose the Ryo, you lose nothing. Really good attack boost. The reason why not 3 is because it's kind of cloggy. Sometimes you open with those 2 and basically no psychics in the grave. And it'd be basically you want to make a full use of all your monsters in this deck. Then we have things like Giant Rat, but not Giant Rat, which is Serene Psychic Wizard. Really good. You can get anything that's 2000 attack or lower, and basically most of them you're gonna be getting it yourself. Basically, use this to fill the grave quickly for Grandsoil. 1 Esper Girl. Just because it's a tuner, and also I like the other effect, which is basically when it's special summoned while banished, you banish the top card of your deck, and then when it's sent to the graveyard, you can add it to your hand. So basically a plus if you bring it from the banish zone. Well, no, a 1 for 1, or depends. It could be a plus or a -1, or a +1, sorry, depending on how you use it. But yeah, level 2 tuner, Earth for Grandsoil and for Naturia Synchros. The best card in the deck that I found yet when I was testing it was Psychic Jumper. Basically a creature swap, but you choose, and it costs 1,000 life points, which is only 1,000. Most of the time people have to Veiler this to stop it, and then I just brought out another one into the monster. Like one game I wasn't because of this, but it involved this. That playing against Chaos Dragons, and they had a BLS on the field, and I dropped Tragodia because they banished my monster and then swung, and I dropped it. Then basically I summoned 1. Because I had Serene Psychic Witch come back. So summon this, use the effect, trying to BLS, they Veilered. E-tailed into another one, tried the effect to take the BLS, they Veilered. Then I realised Grandsoil's in hand, and it's level 8 like BLS, so Tragodia took it. They weren't very happy, and then I won using that BLS. But yeah. Of course, is a decent defense as well, 15, which is pretty good. And, well, pretty good for a level 2 tuner. Basically, creature swap, really good. Basically used to make beast and bark and everything. Also taking your opponent's monsters are pretty good. I'm attacking 1 Hush Psychic Cleric just because 2 on defense, so they attack into it thinking it's I don't know, Esper Girl and stuff. Like with Doomcow, and then 200 attack defense. And also using its effect is quite handy as well. And an extra basically level 3 Psychic that I would use to E-tail that, or basically E-tail target that I wouldn't mind using if they had, or basically depending on the situation, an E-tail target that stop basically means I don't have to waste Esper Girl or what's it called? Psychic Jumper. Then we have 2 Giant Rats. Battle searches like this, UFO Turtle, Mr. Smart stuff are becoming a lot more usable with this format now, because these basically mainly because of the fact that you can set stuff and Zexes won't blow up your fucking field. But yeah, Giant Rat basically fills your deck, basically deck fins, stalls, and fills out your grade for Grandsoil. And when you creatures, and also creature swapping this to your opponent, gives you pluses, insane pluses. Card Trooper, help you mill those earths into the grave, so you can get Grandsoil out quicker. Replace itself by getting your draw when it's destroyed. Basically really good. And level 3 to go into beasts and stuff. Mole. If it hits, if it goes to basically an instant 1 card +1 against Psychics and Xyzs, where your opponent has to use 2 cards to make an Xyz, you use this. Basically, you don't lose this when you use it against the Xyz. When you use it, the fact you don't lose it, you get it just back in your hand, and they lose basically the Xyz, which took them 2 cards to make. So you +1 off that. It's amazing. Actually, no, maybe +2 actually. Yeah, because you banks it back. But anyway, that's all the monsters. We have the spells now. Free E-Tail. Just come back to free. Really good. Basically, it's not as good. Is not as broken as it was when it was in Teledad format, when you can use this and Malicious to make 2 or 3 level 8s in a single turn. Basically now it's basically not as good as it used to be, but it's back at 3, which is good, and it's basically it's still a good card, really good card. Not as expensive as I thought it'd be as well. Then you have the one-off staples like Reborn, Dark Hole, and basically you have Avarice, which is really good. It's almost like a staple. It's really good, this card. Since a lot of decks now basically fill up the grave pretty fast, and you can put them back in a deck. Monsters you would want back in a deck as well to reuse their effects, and then draw 2 cards, or +1 when you can use it. Mind Control, just you synchro your opponent's monster, and Xyz your monster. A lot more versatile now than when it was in synchro era. Book of Moon, the best offensive and defensive card. You can use it to defend yourself or to push, which is really good. And that's the one-off cards. Then we have 2 Miracle Synchrofusion. I barely used. I think it was 1 game I used this to actually bring out Axon Kicker. Most of the time I would just set it and they'd MST it and I draw a card basically. Just a bit. Let them use their dead MSTs and then basically get more basic plus. Yeah, because they use MST to hit this, which is 1 for 1. Then this allows you to get you to draw a card because it's destroyed by your opponent's card, so you +1. Pretty good. 1 creature swap, just because I'm out of like cards like Giant Rat and Serene Psychic Witch that I can use to give my opponent, kill them, and then I get a card back, so I've basically plussed off my opponent. Oh yeah, and also Storm and free MST. Basically, you want to clear your way through your opponent's back row so you can make an easy, clean push. And then the 1 drop, Psychic Overload. I'm not too fond of this card. I'd probably take it out and try like some compulsories because they're really good in this format instead of this. But yeah, this is pretty good when you basically when you use all your Serene Psychic Witches, or you've got 1 on the field and there's 2 in your grave and another Psychic, and your opponent goes to attack. You can go activate this, put the Psychic Witches and the other Psychic back in your deck, draw 2, and then Serene Psychic Witch, when destroyed, will get you another 1. Really good. Well, that's the main deck, and now with the side deck, I want to. Actually, no, I'll just basically go through it and then explain after. Mistworm, bounce your opponent's field. If you bounce any Xyz Synchros, you're plussing even more. Scrap Dragon, Earth, that can be brought back with Grandsoil, and basically clear your opponent's field. Stardust, Protection. Psychic Life Transfer, basically revive your life points. Alternate level 7 that you don't want for when you don't want to waste Black Rose and stuff. And a Psychic Synchro for Miracle Synchrofusion. Black Rose, basically obvious, blow up your opponent's field. Landois, when you're going for a push, you can use this to stop your opponent using Gores and Drag and stuff. This should be a Psychic Nightmare, but the person I was expecting to bring it didn't bring it, so they used this instead, which isn't as good as Psychic Nightmare. Can be helped to use for a Miracle Synchrofusion and also become a free 2-beat stick. and find out a card in your opponent's hand as well, which is nice. Whereas this is just a beat stick, which isn't even that too strong either. 2/6 isn't that powerful. Barkion, Trap Negation, Hyper Librarian when you synchro a lot, plus by drawing every time you synchro. Android, Heal Your Life, and also for Miracle Synchro Fusion. And level 5 beat stick that you can use if you don't want to waste your other cards. Like if you don't want to use Bring Out Beast if you ain't got enough protection, or if you don't have outs to it. Hyper Librarian so you don't want to waste it, and Catastor if you don't want to waste it. Beast, negate spells. Catastor, kill anything that's not dark. Quite helpful against some decks that can have hard times getting over it. Like Gear have trouble getting over this outside of, because most of the Earths they have to use card effects like Smashing Ground or use traps and stuff. When All Maxim Kicker, pretty good card. Can't be destroyed by card effects. 2/9, so 2/9 attacks is rarely going to be beaten in battle. Gains life points and does piercing, really good. And basically a free, basically you can get out for free with just one card, which is pretty cool. Levier, probably going to take this out for a Fruit Roller, because I would like, Fruit Roller is quite good for the fact that most people now are using compulsories, Deep Prisons and stuff, Soul Taker, and basically since they all target, you can just pay 1,000 and basically negate. And also you gain life points every time you kill your opponent's monster, which is pretty good. Zen main Stall, really good. Yeah, the only reason I had Levier in there because I thought I'd be banishing more monsters than I thought, and more people would be banishing, but it turns out it wasn't. I didn't even bring this out once. Isn't that great for me? But this, it's really good. Stall, Instruction, then Token. Why is this Token rather than Gross Token? Because I can't probably use my other one. My side deck was basically built for what my locals is normally like, but it was a bit different. 2 Ryos, basically stop all the searching that's going on with most decks, and negate big monsters like Synchros, Xyz stuff to help. Pretty helpful. Once Connect Soldier, I thought it'd be more hero decks, but then it turned out there are more like Psychic decks and can't remember now. There's more Psychic decks and Chaos decks and stuff. Not many heroes decks. Oh, the Samurai decks I did go against. Well, there was Samurai decks, but I only went against one, and there was only I think 2 or 3 there. And I didn't even draw into this when I was against the guy playing Psychic Samurai. 1 more Maxi and 1 more Veiler, just if I basically, because sometimes one or the other is more helpful in some matchups. So 1 of each. Plus I got space in my extra deck. Second creature swap. Just for when your opponent has like good cards and stuff to basically switch and swap, and depends on the game really. Extermination for back row heavy decks. I found this was more helpful than I found this quite helpful because basically cards that your opponent can't chain like Deep Prison, Warning and stuff, hit it and basically banish all the others, and if you hit one. If they're basically, also you can look for your opponent's deck if they don't reveal all of them, just basically see. Basically, you get to see for your opponent's deck, to see if they have any more copies, and also it's a good thing because you get to look for your opponent's deck. So you can basically, if you want to be a bad, you can have a look to see if a card and you think is in their hand is not in their hand, or see if they have cores and stuff or not. Pretty sneaky, but you can be done. Smash for when you have opponent has like things like Ryo and stuff to get rid of it, so they can't stop your big plays because they can. Ryo's a pain in the ass. 1 system down. I thought there'd be more machine like Gear decks, but turns out it's only me and I think 2 others, or 1 other that plays Gear. But there was a Gadgets, but I didn't play against the guy. But yeah, it's like a genocide for machines. It's awesome. 2 goes a match. So this deck's entirely Earths that you're having. You can, and if you drop Tragodia, you can choose when to play this and just beat down with Tragodia until you're ready, until you get rid of it. 2 Decree, back row heavy decks. Dust Tornado, extra back row destruction for back row heavy decks. And Neil Sealing for the Swarm deck against Pusley. He's been Fabled. When he started to go off, ended up having I had a face down Rat, this, and he didn't think I'd have many. My face then was probably just bluff. And he brought out a librarian, had I think it was a Grandsoil on the field he got for Cruz and 2 Chower. And basically just before he could basically if he synchroned again, he could have got a draw of librarian. It could change things. I thought before he does that, I would pop basically +3 off of him. By basically using this and destroying his entire field, and he just wasted it. Just used his Grimrose and 3 Chowers. So I was pretty happy, and I won from there. That's the entire deck. If anybody has any ideas what to edit in here, because I'm still working on the deck, I like it. It's a really, really fun deck. Different from what everybody else at my locals is playing. And it's a deck, well, Psychics is what I've been playing for a while, but never thought it was that good until now. But yeah, thumbs up, like, comment, whatever. And I'll have the next profile, which would be Gear. That's it, Gear. And also, I've basically just got myself 3 Zirconia and some Era DT Gemini stuff. So once that all arrives, I'll probably make a deck profile as well. The only one I can't get until next month is Augusta Emerald. As soon as I get that, yay! And also, basically by the end of the week, I should hopefully have a Laval deck up as well. Peace!